Hello, my name is Anjali Patel. Here is my sister Himani Patel. We are here with Mr. Tom Swisstack, former mayor of Rio Rancho. We are so honored to be here with you today.
It's my honor to be here with both of you.
Thanks for letting us be the first ones to interview you and share on your big announcements. Mr. Swisstack, please tell the audience what you did on Sunday at 2:00 p.m.
I had the honor of having my announcement to run for the mayor of Rio Rancho at the Italian American Association in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. We had 140 people show, and we talked about what some of the important issues will be for Rio Rancho in its future and for our young people in developing career jobs.
I know you have been busy for the last 4 years, but why the break from being mayor?
Well, the last 4 years I finished my career in public safety. I used to work with children a lot at the Juvenile Detention Center, and then I ran the adult jail system for Bernalillo County. And then the last time I was mayor, I chose not to run again so that I can concentrate on finishing my career. And I did that about 19 months ago and had the pleasure of kind of doing some work around my house and doing a little traveling and meeting some new people. And I started to talk to the public and made a decision that I thought I should run again for the mayor of Rio Rancho.
Himani and I are big supporters of Rio law enforcement. It doesn't matter if it's crime in Albuquerque or Rio Rancho. You think the whole area has a lot of crime. How will you help the Rio Rancho police officers, and how will you work with the Albuquerque area?
As both of you know, Albuquerque is in the process of electing a new mayor. Whomever that new mayor might be, it's important for us to help them with their crime issues, because if we can help them to take control over that, then that crime won't come to Rio Rancho, which we have some of the best police officers and first responders and firefighters in the state. And so it is my intent to look at the staffing patterns that we have in Rio Rancho. And what I mean by that, my information is that we could probably use another 15 officers, police officers, on the streets to help kind of deal with the growth that the city of Rio Rancho is experiencing. In addition, we probably could use another 5 or 6 firefighters and or paramedics, because it's important that we're able to respond to people's needs, whether or not somebody broke their arm, whether or not somebody may be having a heart attack at home, or whether or not a senior is having a panic attack because they're sitting home by themselves. So it becomes important. It's also important that we protect people's lives through our law enforcement, as well as protect people's property in Rio Rancho. And again, it's my intent to try to add more equipment and also additional police officers and first responders to help them be successful in doing their jobs. And if they're successful, they'll take care of our people, our citizens.
So, my mom and dad drive between Albuquerque and Rio Rancho often. Many times you see the Rio Rancho sign, the City of Vision, and the camera police cars. To my parents, it means we are watching, slow down, or else. What is the message you want people to know when coming into Rio Rancho?
Well, there's a few messages. One of the first messages, I want people to know that they're safe. Another message is I want people to know that we have a very clean, a very progressive city that thinks about its future, that thinks about its children that are graduating from school in Rio Rancho, but then thinks about how we can develop career jobs, jobs that you might want to get here locally so that you can stay locally, maybe next to your parents for a period of time. Not next door, I know that, but at least close to them, okay, in case they need you. And so in addition to that, I want people to think about Rio Rancho as a place that they can raise a family, they can have fun, and at the same time they can get a good, solid education, and also be in a position where they can help make our community better. I want it to be a family-oriented community, one that helps make things better for all people.
In your announcements to run for mayor, you had mentioned vision and teamwork. What does that mean?
If I'm sitting here talking to 2 young people who go to school, It's important for me to know that you know what the vision of the city is. You want to know in 5 years, when you'll be older, maybe teenagers, okay, will you have some places that you can go and have fun and be safe? I would also want to know that the hospitals, that the school system, that the business community, that nonprofit corporations like the Boys and Girls Club and other organizations are in a position to share some common goals. So if we work together, the three of us were to work together on some common goals, I believe that we can make the city better. Because then we're all moving in the same direction and we're all going to work toward the same thing. And if we can do that, then you'll have great prosperity for the city of Rio Rancho. And if you have great prosperity, then you can start to build new things in the city that the people themselves want, like roads, like more places for young people to go, like more friendly businesses that you can go to. So it's important that we really look at trying to share this vision together and not somebody have one vision, another person have another vision, but what are things that we could agree to, that you and I and you could agree to and work toward that.
So I play lacrosse. What are some of these strategies you can help Rio Rancho that I can help my team, my lacrosse team?
So I guess I'm going to kind of ask a little question of both of you while I'm sitting here. When you're playing lacrosse, does only one person play?
No.
How many people are on a team?
A lot.
When you're playing on the field, how many people?
7.
7. Do all those 7 people have to work together?
Yes.
So what I can learn from you, both of you, what it takes to have a teamwork, okay, to win a game, right? Because you have to all play together. The same thing for me. So you're teaching me something. If 7 people are working together really good, you have a good chance of winning that game, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the city. If we're working together, we can win our game, we could accomplish our goals, we can make life better here for people. So it's all about working together. Whether you agree, but at least do we have an understanding of what the issue is? When you're playing lacrosse, you agree that you have to win this game, you have to get a goal. Is that correct?
Yes.
You have to get a goal. Why? Because if you get points on the board, you're going to win. Same thing that I believe. If we can get points in our city, if we can bring good businesses to our city, it will grow and be a good, safe city with a good education and job opportunities.
In October 22nd speech, you had said rise above politics to bring more jobs. For a kid, I have a big question mark hanging over my head. What does that mean?
I think right now, sometimes we forget that we should not worry too much about politics, whether you're a particular party believer or not, but that we should really working on the solutions that we need for the challenges that are facing us. And so you and I may be of different parties, but can we agree that we have to find better places for our children to play and have more fun, even when they're teenagers, and maybe have more recreation sites that they can go to and be safe? And if we could agree to that, even if we're from different parties, we should work on trying to solve that. If you and I agree that we need better jobs, it doesn't mean who gets credit, it doesn't really matter to me. It means, do we get better jobs so that you could have a career here? So if you get a good education here, you want to be able to get a good paying job. So it's my belief, especially now more than ever, that we should not worry about the politics. We should worry about solving the challenges that we face, whether it's winning the game in lacrosse or whether it's not, it's building our city to be the greatest city in the state of New Mexico. You guys are tough with your questions.
What is one message you want to tell all the kids in Rio Rancho?
I truly believe this because I worked with kids for many years. I truly believe that our children need to get involved, okay? People of your age, what you're doing right now, it does make me feel that I need to make sure that I never forget why I'm doing this, okay? But it's also important that children ask questions. What is going to help you? What's important for you in this city? Because you will sooner or later be a voter. And you want to make sure that you're getting what you need in order to be a good citizen, to be an informed citizen. I would encourage our youth to really speak up or ask questions about the issues that we're facing. Even if they're just, what is it from a child's point of view or a young person's point of view? What are your thoughts about whether or not we should have more parks and recreation, and there should be more kinds of games that our kids could get involved with so that they're staying active? You would be amazed if children were to say that more often, how many adults would really start to listen? Because I think all of us, no matter who you are or where you're coming from, want to do something for our children. But we need to know what the children really think is important to them.
How do people learn more about you?
Well, there's a couple ways. One, you can go to my website, www.tomswisstackformayor.com, or you can call me at my cell number, which is 505-463-6989. I'd be glad to talk to people. I'd be glad to answer any of their questions, but I'd also be very impressed if young people were to call and ask questions also.
Thank you, Mr. Tom Swisstack, for your time, and thank you for letting us interview you.
And thank you, and I just want you both to know this, seriously, you did a great job.
Thank you.